It's not working. Hi, it's Poppin'. This is Frozen Ray. Welcome to Volume 3. That didn't really look like anything. It just looked like a 0. Welcome to Episode 0 of Frozen Ray's Friday Rants and Raves. Thanks for sticking with me. Super appreciative that you've made it this far. Shoutouts to Tag Havoc for shouting me out. So this week I wanted to just get right into it. I want to talk about Coldplay. And Coldplay's been my favorite band for a very, very long time. There was a big time in my life where the only thing I really listened to was hip-hop, rap. I didn't really listen to a whole lot of other stuff. But I went through phases with nu metal. I went through a phase where I just listened to nothing but the Beatles for months on end. But I didn't really enjoy it for myself, you know what I'm saying? And so it took a lot of time and a lot of listening and a lot of white friends to really appreciate rock and roll for what it is. And I love it. I love 70s rock. I love glam rock in the 80s, man. I love Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. But I was always into melodic stuff. I was always into softer stuff. I never really liked just like raw metal. You know what I'm saying? I always liked it, which is funny because I like hardcore hip hop, but I never really enjoyed rock in those aspects. You know, I eventually did later. But the thing that got me with Coldplay was that it was just so the songs that made me fall in love with the band were just so beautiful. They're just so melodic, piano driven, like guitars. Their later albums had tons and tons of synth and real orchestric elements to it. Beautiful lyrics. And that's what gets me going. It's always not just about the super sick beat or even the rhyme cadence or whatever in a song. It's the melody. It's being able to strip away the lyrics, the structure, the beat, and just listening to the melody and still being able to say, holy crap, this is a good song. My favorite song to this day, it's been 8 years, and no song gives me an emotional rush, an emotional thrill like Viva La Vida from their album Viva La Vida or Death and All of His Friends. I knew of Coldplay. I was acquainted with Coldplay, but when I heard Viva La Vida, the song, I knew this is the kind of rock that I like. This is the kind of rock that I can get down with. Viva La Vida helped me to go back to the Parachutes album, to the Rush of Blood to the Head album, to the X and Y album, and appreciate those albums in ways that I had never been able to appreciate before. You know what I'm saying? Because none of those albums sound like Viva La Vida. That's the one thing I love about Coldplay. A lot of bands do this too, but one thing I love about Coldplay, no one album is a sequel to the other. You know, Parachutes has a completely different sound than Rush of Blood. X and Y is in no way a sequel to Rush and Blood to the Head. Viva La Vida is in no way a sequel to X and Y. Milo, Gelato, however you pronounce that album, MX, it's not a sequel to Viva La Vida. Ghost Stories is not a sequel to MX, and Head Full of Dreams is in no way a sequel to Ghost Stories. They're two completely different albums, you know. On their latest album, Head Full of Dreams, the song that I want to rave about is Hymn for the Weekend. That's what it is. It's called Hymn for the Weekend. Oh, it's just so good. Beyonce's on the guest vocals. You know, it opens up, you know, you just hear these sounds of birds, and it gives you this imagery of just you being outside. It's warm, it's hot. It gives you a very exotic feel. It could be in a rainforest, it could be top of a mountain in Tibet, something, I mean, not Tibet, somewhere that's not home. And sometimes not being home is the best place you can be. The song just feels so good. It just opens up with this, you know, gorgeous Beyonce vocal. You know, it's not really a duet between Chris and said guest artists like on the MX album, the song that he did with Rihanna, Princess of China, where Rihanna actually has her own verse and has her own this and that. It really feels like a kind of a duet, and you know, Beyonce's just kind of guest vocals in the background. It's just such a really good song, a feel-good song. That album, it's a feel-good album, you know. And one of the things that I like about that album is that it doesn't sound like the rest. It's almost like the anti-Ghost Story album. You know, it's not brooding and oceanic, you know, in an ambient kind of way. It's not a lot of things. And that's what makes it good, is that it's not all those things that the previous albums were or were not. It's just such a well done album. Everything about it is just energetic. Just the energy is just so neon. It's just so vibrant. And that song is just super upbeat. It doesn't feel like a rock song. It's hard to say it if it is a rock song. It's really not. It's really poppy. Pop rock, I guess you could call it. But man, it's pop rock without being generic, and that's a difficult thing to pull off. The album is really pop inspired, urban inspired, disco inspired even. And this song, Hymn for the Weekend, is just such a feel good song, man. Just like, you know, seeing the clouds break apart on a rainy day, the rain slows down, you see the birds in the sky, and you just jam out, man. You just feel like celebrating for absolutely no reason, with friends or by yourself. The song would be dope without Beyonce, but Beyonce just gives it that extra star power. Just really good stuff, and I would highly recommend it. If you hate Coldplay, it's cool. You know, just give it a listen. Let me know what you think, because man, I don't know about you, and I don't think that song is their best work. I don't think that album that the song is on, Head Full of Dreams, is their best work. You know, I'm still obsessed with Viva, and I think the 3 albums that came before Viva are, you know, they're top-notch material. But man, it's just a really good song, and I want to rave about that. I want to share that with you. If you haven't heard it, I mean, it's on the radio right now. But if you haven't heard it, look it up. You know, Coldplay's really doing their thing right now. You know, so whether you like Coldplay or not, whether you like Beyonce or not, man, just check it out. It's a good song, and I just want to help you guys be aware that there is some good music out there. There's some positive music out there. The radio is getting back into this mode of storytelling, which I really appreciate. I think everyone tells a story, and it just takes more skill to execute. But for everything else that's on the radio right now, they're not telling a story. It's almost utter garbage. Like, the in-between is really thin. I mean, tell me I'm wrong about that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy where music is going right now. In both extremes, in good and bad. It's crazy where it's going. And so, right now, Coldplay's in a really good place. And again, I don't think this song is the best song they have, but man, it's good right now. Can't listen to that song without smiling unless you really just hate Coldplay, which is cool. You know, hate on, you know, but if you're willing to give it a shot, it's a good song. It's a good song, man. It's a good song from a good band on a good album. Give it a listen. So, the song that, you know, I gotta rant about the song just for a little bit, because it's not. I don't even know. My wife actually introduced me. It's from Trinidad James, and the song is called Just a Little Thick. Thick. I hate Trinidad James. I can't think of one song he's done that was straight just fire. That just wasn't F- material. Like, the guy is, like, he's horrible, dude. Dude's a clown. And I'm not just saying that because I got this inferiority complex or superiority complex about young rappers, or, you know, old rappers in this generation, that generation, real and fake, and, you know, rappers who have gold in their teeth, and rappers who, you know, Looks like they came out of, House Party 2. I'm just saying, like, I've listened to some of the guy's stuff, and I'm not impressed. I'm surprised because there's a new joint he came out with that actually features Mystical and Lil Dicky is kind of new. It's not an old song. I'm serious. Like, you just Google this cat and you're just like, whoa, he's like hideous. I mean, he doesn't look like, he's not as bad as like crazy looking as like, I don't know, like Young Thug or even Weezy on a bad day. But there's just something off about him, it's clownish. Take a decent look at this cat, you're just kind of like, this guy, this is the dude I want to listen to, I want to be listening to, Appearances are everything, unfortunately, and it's just, you take a good look at him and you're like, this cat's music is gonna suck. His music sucks. But I kind of gotta give it up to this song in a lot of different ways. First of all, the context of the song. You can guess what it's about, right? Big butts. Yum. Delicious. Dinner is served. Yeah, it's actually just it's just a club song. I mean, it's produced by DJ Mustard, for crying out loud, which props to him for coming out with a joint that doesn't sound like all of his other joints. Okay, all of his songs sound exactly the same. It drives me nuts. Because club rap is just not my niche, it's just not my thing. Since I'm not in the club, it's like just like one of those things where it really doesn't work out for me, it's not my thing. I do like this beat that he made. I was actually impressed that I hear that at the beginning, the mustard on the beat. I was like, oh, okay, it's a mustard beat, okay. And it is a club song, and it's a funny song too. It's a little vulgar, but it's a clean version too, but it's really kind of, even though it's a joking kind of song, it's actually sort of empowering. There's just so much about the industry, especially hip-hop, that is misogynistic, that, you know what I'm saying, speaks so much on body image, especially for women. And black people are a people of pride. We are a people of pride. We care about the way we look. We care about the way people see us, because we know as a minority, one of us is usually representing all of us. If you've never met a black person in your life until you're like 22 and you meet a black person and it's a bad experience, then you're more than likely going to think that way about all black people, and you're going to kind of stay away because, well, that one time, and it's not to victimize us, it's not to villainize anyone else. It's just the truth about being a racial minority. It's not even a black thing, it's just a thing, And so hip-hop is a predominantly black thing. Started off with, blacks and Latinos in New York, and it just kind of grew to be this thing where it's just like, it's cool. When people say something is cool, it's like, that's what I want to be, that's what I aspire to be, that's what I want to follow. That's what is going to influence me in my journey, in my walk. And I want to tell people about this cool thing that I found. Hip-hop is cool. Black people are always laying down a foundation for musical standards, even if those musical standards are so incredibly, egregiously weak. I hear it on the radio, and some stupid kids go, "Oh, that's so cool." And that's how trends get started. Poor trends get started. But in hip hop, it's cool to be empowered. It's cool to have self-respect, and it's cool to respect other people. Which is crazy because you don't hear a lot about that in hip-hop. But when you do hear music in hip-hop that's about that, you'll never hear anyone say, "Man, that song was whack, that was stupid." No. It's going to be respected. You're going to have that respect. And I just wish more people would do it. And so this silly song, this silly club song, it's talking about thick women who don't fit the model standard, who are a little bit thicker, a little curvier. And it's like, you know what, let's celebrate these girls. Let's have fun with them. Let's not poke fun at them. Let's just have fun with them. They're here to have fun. They're human beings. We're human beings. Let's just go out and have a good time. And I can appreciate that about the song. I can appreciate that he got Mystical and Lil Dicky on the song. Now, Mystical's an OG. You don't have to know nothing about No Limit and Master P and all them. You know who Mystical is. Mystical is money. We talk about hip-hop. look into Mystical in the 90s, look into Mystical in the 2000s, you know what I'm saying, when he popped off, and listen to his stuff. You know, study his cadence, his rhyme cadence, which is untouchable. The dude is a beast because he's so extremely unique. I don't think he ever bit anyone else's style, and his style is so unique, I don't think anyone else has even attempted to bite his. And Lil Dicky, who was like half comedian, half rap star, this dude he's insane. Like, this dude is fire. People look at him, he doesn't look like a rapper, he doesn't act like a rapper. But when you hear him on a song, you're like, whoa, let me take a step back, because I judged a book before opening up the pages. And I feel ashamed because this kid has it. Lil Dicky is a menace in the game. And so that Trinidad James has this song that features an OG and this new cat who's actually showcasing actual skills and not just coolness. Not just, hey, I'm black and young and making money, so let's talk about the street life. Let's talk about guns and let's call women hoes and like, nah, man, like, what's cool about it? Let's talk about the trap. No, please, let's talk about something else. So it's just cool. If anything, this song, as whack as it is, ultimately, is refreshing. I don't hate the song. I don't hate the song. I don't know. I just feel a weird way about it. I honestly would be okay if I didn't hear the song again. You know, it's encouraging and empowering, but not that encouraging. Not in the way a common song is empowering. Not in the same way a Black Star song is empowering and encouraging. It's sort of unstructured. Mystical and Lil Dicky hold it together, but Trinidad James, when he's rambling on it, when he's his first verse, just like ugh. And again, the song is really jokey. I mean, they could have got Lonely Island on it just to validate it, just to authenticate, and it would have been okay, because that's how much of a joke it sounds like. So there's a lot of good things about the songs. And again, I don't hate it. It's not a horrible song. It's just not a good one. Seriously, I thought Trinidad James was done as a rapper, and that made me happy. So I'm kind of upset that he's back. Two completely different songs, really. Coldplay and Trinidad James. So those are my rants and raves for today, for this week. These videos will get better over time. Just stick with me. I promise they're going to get much better. I already know what songs I want to do for my next video for next week, for episode 4. So stick around, stay tuned. It's going to be really, really good. And man, I love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. Alright, it's Frozen Ray, out.